are going to cover over with Chipotle. So Chipotle and Mexican chains, I would say, Mexican restaurants are different than chains. So if you're looking at like a chain restaurant that you go to, they're a lot more specific on how they make stuff. You can be a little bit more precise with it. The mom and pop Mexican restaurants and stuff like that, those ones, they do a lot of lard based cooking. So if you go on and do any sort of searching like on Pinterest, if you look up Mexican recipes and stuff like that, they use a lot of lard in that in their foods. At Chipotle, a place like Baja Fresh, they don't use lard. They actually are pretty low in fats in comparison. So when we're looking over this, I like this one because it's great for the whole family to eat. Is like the kids meals so that you can get some good options for the kids. The cheese quesadilla, probably not so great, but it works great for the kids and stuff like that, and gets them to maybe try some different meats in there and stuff, and get them to do that. I avoid the burrito. Really, is just if you look at a burrito, the burrito what you're looking at. Let me see if we can show you here. So this is a great option, by the way. If you go to the Chipotle's website, they do a great job. But just the flour tortilla by itself is 320 calories. So that's almost your whole meal right there. And I just like I'm not a big fan. I don't think that having the tortilla is really worth it with Chipotle. Sorry about that. But what we're going to look at is seeing about the bowl is probably your best situation, your best choice, in my opinion. I wouldn't go with a whole lot of other options with it. And if this thing gets loaded up, we will be able to show you here. All right, let me try it again here. Give me just a sec. Okay, so we're gonna look and see. So the burrito bowl, or the burrito, again, just the tortilla by itself is about 320 calories. So I avoid having the burrito. The burrito bowl, this is gonna be a good option. You can do the salad. The problem is that I think with the salad is I think that you're getting, if you really want to have lettuce, that's great. But they basically fill it with a bunch of lettuce, and you end up missing out on a lot of the other stuff that you could get from it to make it a little bit more well balanced and well rounded. So what they do a really good job with here is they end up letting you totally customize the whole thing so you can see what it all looks like. So you can come over and see, okay, well, the chicken's got 7 grams of fat. You can come over and take a look at this right here. This is a plant-based protein. And so you can see there's 10 grams of fat, so not such a great option. Carnitas, there's 12 grams of fat out of that 23 grams of protein. So this is a decent choice to get started with. The barbacoa, what we're looking at with that one is that one's 7 grams. So that barbacoa is a pretty decent option. And then if we come over and we take a look at the steak, this is also another good option. So pretty much all of their ones are pretty good options. I would not make it be your filling as this right here. The veggies basically is the guac. It's just there's going to be next to no protein, and it's going to be all fat. Okay, so a little trick. Okay, so I'm going to get you more food, but the goal is to have this be split up into 2 meals. Chipotle reheats really well for a second meal. So even if you're like you're not going to be able to get to it for a little bit. Like I love to eat mine for breakfast the next day or lunch the next day, or even for if I'm eating it for lunch, I might eat it for dinner too. So this is what you do: is when you order it, is say I want half chicken, and then pick one of the other halves. So if you're vegetarian, you might go with just this, or vegan, you might go with just this. But if you're going to go with a meat, I typically go chicken, and I go, can I get half chicken and half steak? So the reason why I do this is because they don't actually weigh out what kind of meat and how much meat they put on. So they end up putting out and they give you more meat. So you're going to get quite a bit of protein from it with not a big hit in that total fats. Okay. So now when we come down to the rice, so I'm going to take these guys out now that you kind of see that. We'll come back up and we'll see what the whole thing looks like. So if we're looking at this right here, this rice, like great. If you want to have cauliflower rice, go for it. The brown rice is a decent option. I'm not a big fan of their brown rice. I really like their white rice. Plus, if you see the difference, there's 4 grams of fat. And right here, this one's got 6. So I prefer the white rice. It's just that lime comes out more in the white rice than it does from the brown rice, just in my opinion. So that's why I kind of choose that. Now, with black beans and the pinto beans, either one of these ones is fine. Like, it doesn't really make a difference with this one. So again, I'm gonna give you some suggestions here. Is you go half and half. You pick both. And so they end up giving you a little bit of each. They give you a pretty good sized portion of it, okay? So for the veggies and stuff like that, like your fajita veggies, there's no fats. Your salsa, no fats. Your roasted chili corn, very little amounts of fat. Your tomatillo, none. You're looking at the really spicy one, none. So any of those ones are going to be fine for you. The guacamole, I would stay away from the guacamole. You could do cheese, and what you can do is just say, can I get a little light? Okay, so you get a little bit of cheese on there if you want. Okay, so you're going to just knock off just a little bit on there. So instead of getting 8, you're going to get down about 4. And again, they don't weigh everything, so it's going to be roughly what that's like. The queso blanco is going to be really similar to the guacamole. It's just going to be lots of fat there for you, so you don't really need it. The sour cream is pretty high in fats. So if you want sour cream, again, you might say go light on it. Okay, so that would be it. And then if you wanted to make it to be a salad, this is where your romaine lettuce comes in. So I'm going to show you what a meal would look like. So if you did half the chicken, half the steak, you come down, you do the white rice, you half the beans of each one. You go ahead and you pick the fajita veggies. We're going to do light on this guy right here. And we're going to go ahead, and if you want the pico de gallo, you can do that. And so if you do pico de gallo, that's great. If you want to add a little extra salsa, you can do a little bit of that. It doesn't really make a difference. If you want the roasted corn salsa, great. If you want to add some romaine lettuce, there's your meal right there. You got 820 calories. You got only 19 grams of fat from it. And your proteins at 53.5 and your carbohydrates 110. This is like Chipotle is like, I think Chipotle is one of the best places to eat at. They do such a good job with it. I've always been really impressed with this company. But yeah, so you could check that out. This would be a great meal. You split it up in 2, and you will get 2 really filling meals from it. Okay, so that is my suggestion on Chipotle. Again, I wouldn't really look at I don't really look at a lot of the other stuff. I don't know why it keeps doing this. I wouldn't really look at a whole lot of other options outside of those bowls. Those ones are going to be your very best for you.
Hey, thank you so much for watching my video. I really hope you learned a lot from it. I do have many more videos just like these. So if you go ahead and click on the link down below, you can go and subscribe to my channel. Also, I will have in the comments down below, there is a link to my private women's group on Facebook where I talk about tips and tricks and just like these to be able to help you out with losing your weight and getting in a healthier situation for yourself. Lastly, there's going to be 2 other links I have down below. There's going to be a fast food cheat sheet. It's a free fast food cheat sheet that I created. It covers the top 10 places that I suggest going and eating at and what to eat when you go there. And then lastly, I'm going to have my top 25 inside aisle foods to be able to get when you go grocery shopping. So go ahead and click on those links down below. Thanks so much for watching and take care.